Yeah, get it on. Got to get it on the show. Get it on. Josh Wolf back in studio. Very funny stand-up comedian. Funny on his feet. That should be the name of your next special.
I like that. Funny.
Mayhem's doing the news. Yeah, Josh is very quick on his feet. Not all stand-ups are fast on their feet. Some are just good stand-ups.
You know what? For sure, I think when you're watching somebody, even as a performer, you can tell the people who are just great writers. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? Who aren't exactly living in exactly what's happening on, but they're great writers, and you can tell this is what they do.
Well, now you remind me of something, because in all the sketch stuff I've done over the years, and my background is really in sketch, which I don't think people know about me, or they know it about me, but it doesn't seem to fit whatever they have. People streamline things and simplify things, but I'm really like, if they were to give belts out for sketch, I might be a black belt in sketch and improvisation, group comedy.
Yeah.
But I think people just think, he's a funny guy, he's good on his feet, he did construction, then he did radio, and now he's here. But I trained years and years and years, and I noticed that the guys who were really good at characters and really good at voices and just dove hard into their characters weren't much personality outside of that character. Mm-hmm. And they weren't even really that great at improv, but they would go deep into these characters, and they'd go places you couldn't go because you're living kind of in real time, and they weren't living in real time. Yeah. And so I think there's a corollary with writers and stand-ups, and then people that are sort of good on their feet as well.
Without a doubt. And I think sketch writing is a completely separate skill than even writing a script. Writing a sketch, to me, writing a funny sketch is the hardest thing in comedy. You have to get a beginning, middle, and end in such a short period of time, and the pressure to be funny, jokes per second in a sketch, is more intense than any other of our, like, anything more intense than stand-up now, because you can tell stories. Chappelle will tell a story and wait till the end to give you a punchline. Mm-hmm. But a sketch needs to be funny throughout and has to have a good beginning, middle, and end, and is live. To me, it's the hardest thing in comedy to write, without a doubt. It's such a specific skill.
Yeah, I think a really good sketch is like a really good logo. There's a genius in how accessible it is and how brilliant it is, but how simple it is,
It has to stay simple, right? Because you only have a certain amount of time.
For me, I ended up doing a lot of sketches over the years, but I ended up then when I went to the Man Show, I just brought that to it. So we were filming them, but they're edited and stuff, but they're essentially sketches, and like one that I might be known for would be called Rest Assured, and it was a premise that I had long before the Man Show, which is, I had a roommate, he was from Philadelphia, he was quite the bachelor, and in his nightstand was a pistol and handcuffs and porn and lube and stuff like that. He liked the ladies, but his mom adored him. His mom worshipped him, so much so that she sewed him from scratch a full-size Batman outfit and sent it to him, like as a 30-year-old. And I thought,
we talking Adam West Batman?
Is that something you tell your friends or you hide from your friends?
I don't know, but your roommates know. My mom wouldn't have stolen a bathrobe for me from a Holiday Inn, much less get down at a sewing machine and buy several yards of purple silk fabric, like literally constructed a Batman outfit, way before Amazon.
Yeah.
Made one.
Original cosplay.
Well, they had them, they had them for 7-year-olds, but then they had them for 30-year-olds, So she had great love for him. And, I told him, Look, if something ever goes south, I'll get to that nightstand before your mom gets here from the airport. You can count on me, you know?
Yeah, listen, by the way, but those three things in the nightstand with the Batman suit doesn't not make sense.
No, I agree.
That's in there.
Put together, it all comes together.
I'm getting lube on your 45.
Yeah.
So when I got to the Man Show, I came with this bit called Rest Assured, where we have you can sign up for this Rest Assured system. It's sort of like Life Alert or something like that. Like when you go, they'll get to your place before your parents get to your place. And it's peace of mind. Like you sign up for it.
Great idea.
Right. So the idea in my world, it can be as outlandish as you want, but you have to go, I guess that does make sense. And then you have to kind of execute it, and then you have to have a couple of twists, a little twist or turn in it at some point, and then you need an ending and a button. And it's all got to be done in 2 minutes and 15 seconds or whatever that thing is.
How long is are you shooting for a sketch to be? 2 minutes? Is that basically?
We would do commercial parodies, and honestly, I would look like Man Show deodorant or Masculout,
Man Ponds,
Dr. Stefano's discount anal emporium. Those are like
Carl Malone.
I did one for
short. Well, these are commercial parodies.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah, and then we do sort of man on the street. Adam goes to the hardware store and makes fun of people. That could be 4 minutes or 3.5. And the film sketchy things, I don't know. We'll look when our computer's fixed. But I don't know if Rest Assured is 145 or 213 or whatever it is, but somewhere under 3 probably.
I think, and you tell me, because this is the one thing, and I've done a lot and been successful across a lot of different platforms doing what we do. Sketch is something I've never been able to nail down. So do you think sketch is really basically finding one joke and hitting that joke as many times as you can in one sketch, whether it's, Van Down by the River, or just you're nailing this one joke, this one premise as many times as you can, and then you get out? Is that basically what a sketch is? You're escalating it every time, and until you can't escalate it anymore, Debbie Downer's the same joke every time, right?
It seems like I'll look at it from every perspective and then exhaust it, and how much gets cut.
My idea of a well-executed sketch is not keep repeating Van Down by the River or Debbie Downer. Yeah. I like one of my favorite all-time sketches is a one when I was at the Acme Theater, one named John McCann did. There's a friend, he was a writer. So he's still a writer, still a friend. And so it's got to live in some kind of reality. So his sketch, and it's got to be presented in some sort of way that lives in reality. So his sketch is he went out and he addressed the audience who was at the Acme Theater as if they were attending a seminar. So first it's like he's breaking down the fourth wall. He's talking to the audience like, thank you for coming to this seminar for Skipper Ned Heem's Adventure Sea Burials, which is you could, I can remember exact, but you could do the Neptune Society, who will take your loved ones and cremate them and scatter their ashes over the open sea, and you come home with a cargo hold full of grief. Or you could sign up for Skipper Ned Heem's Adventure Burials, which is we'll cremate the remains of the loved one, we'll scatter the ashes over the open sea, but after that, we're going sport fishing. Yeah. And then so you kind of
we're using his fingers as bait.
Yeah. They kind of so then that's the main joke, right?
Right.
So then everything off of that has to serve that premise, right?
But that's what I kind of mean. You are basing it off of one.
You're basing it off of one, but you don't keep repeating it. Then he goes, the Ash taxi's a 42-inch, 42-foot, thing with a flying gaff and a fighting chair. And I just as soon scuttle my own vessel than dock with a full can of beer. And then it's like, he goes, while his first mate, Gus, is a defrocked Jesuit, and while he's down below playing Chariots of Fire on the hornpipes, I'll be topside looking out for record schools of Perch and Bonita. So he's like taking funerals and fishing and combining them. And it's like, Gus, he goes, Gus will Gus will adjust your tackle, rig your drag line, and dry your tears. And he doesn't. And he doesn't have to be.
That's a great line.
And he doesn't have to be told twice to crack you a cold one. So everything is fishing, funeral,
that's
fishing, funeral. And it's the theme. So he's gonna adjust your tackle. He's gonna rig your drag line. He'll dry your tears, and he doesn't need to be told twice to crack you a cold one.
So writing room, was it manic? Like everybody's cracking up about the concept of the funeral boat?
No, he just went home and wrote it. And I love the sketch, the monologue so much that I essentially memorized it through like a 6-month run. And so what you have is you got a premise, and the premise is funny. It's odd and weird. No one's thought of it, but it's kind of like, go sport fishing, and then everything serves funerals and sport. Like the idea that his first mate, Gus, is down below playing Chariots of Fire on the hornpipes while he's topside looking out for Perch and Bonita. Like
that's really funny.
Right. So that's, to me, that's when it's at its best.
What about a sketch like, this is old SNL. Mm-hmm. Do you remember a sketch called Pre-Chew Charlie's? Where the idea is they would pre-chew your steak so you didn't have to chew it.
Oh.
And so the guy would come over and serve you your steak, and he'd cut a piece, and he would chew it, and then he would put it back on your plate, and then you would just pick it up and swallow it.
Uh-huh.
You never saw that sketch?
That was just so
sketch.
Chris Kattan could spit in people's mouths.
No, this is old. This is old school. Pre-Chew Charlie's was old school. But things like that, because it's absurd, but you were like, it's one step past reality. I like sketches like that.
My feeling with sketch is I didn't like a lot of Monty Python stuff because I didn't like that parrot's not dead.
Yeah,
that parrot's dead.
That's different.
That's like, okay, that's never, that's not a thing. But a system that you sign up for who cleans out all your dildos and porn if you die, that's like, okay, I could
heightened reality. See that. I'm with the height. But I honestly would not hate somebody to come over and just wipe my Google search after I die.
Yeah, I mean, there's the bit.
It's actually not a terrible business.
25 years old, but this would be the modern.
It's not a terrible business model.
This is the Netflix version of the Blockbuster.
That's right. They just come. I just need someone to get rid of my phones, get rid of my internet, get rid of my computer, come over, Black Ops my place. And then let's then we can
just run a giant magnet over everything in my life.
We have pre-chewed Charlie's.
Oh goodness!
I've seen most SNL stuff, but I do not remember this one. You do? Okay.
Hey, hi. I pre-chew Charlie. Say, if you've got dentures, or you've just had your wisdom teeth pulled, or your jaw broken, or if you just plain don't like to chew your own food, and who does, why not come on down to Pre-Chew Charlie's and check out the consomme yogurt and pudding bars, not to mention my famous pre-chewed steaks. Hi, folks. You two enjoying your meal?
Wow, Charlie, the tomato bisque and the applesauce are just great. I haven't even got to the whipped potatoes.
Haven't you two forgotten something?
I don't. What?
Why, your steaks, of course.
All right, who has the well done?
I have the well done.
All righty, here we go.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm. And when you come to Pre-Chew Charlie, you know that our steaks are the finest cuts of USDA inspected beef, flame broiled and chewed to your perfection by our Pre-Chew Charlie staff. Hey, and while you're here, why not take home a can of our world-famous pre-chewed peanut brittle? So come on down to Pre-Chew Charlie's, where you're gonna get spoiled.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I love that bit. That's funny.
It's heightened reality. Mm-hmm. And I do like it. One of the things that when things are over the top, premise-wise, if you can play it grounded in reality, it brings it back a little bit. If it's so over the top and you're playing it so over the top, I'm out. But they're playing it like, it's a regular advertisement. He's not over the top with his voice, with his Chevy Chase is as over the top as he gets.
As he gets,
as he gets. But
that guy's real mustache.
If you
Bill Murray?
Come on.
That was Bill Murray.
Oh, that's his name?
Oh, don't be
Stop it.
All right. Do you have like we did man ponds. I don't know if their computer works or not, but man ponds, we played it super straight.
Yeah.
And all we did is just a commercial parody. We just switched out, I don't know what would have been deodorant or something for man ponds, but it was like subdued and kind of quiet.
But that's the best way to do something like that.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I'll show you man ponds. And
did you write man ponds?
No, I didn't write man ponds. But then when I did Dr. Stefano's Anal Emporium, that was way over the top, but it worked. But all right, we'll see man ponds here if our computer's working.
Hey, buddy, you are sweating your ass off. I know it's hot. No. I mean, you're really sweating from the ass.
Oh, no.
I'm so ashamed. Don't worry, pal. You just need a little help back there. This is my secret. Mango? Sure. Try it. It's like a cool spring breeze blowing through your ass cheeks. At this point, I'll try anything.
Posterior perspiration is an embarrassing problem that can leave you feeling less than fresh. Man ponds. Squeeze discreetly between your cheeks like a hot dog in a bun. Super exotic man ponds lift away moisture to get your crack back on track.
I love this chick at the end.
Oh, nice job.
Hey, Jimmy, you look great. Did you get a haircut or something?
Yeah, I got a haircut. Thanks, buddy. Hey, don't thank me. Thank Man Pond.
It's a classic, that's for sure.
I'm not going to lie to you. Those man ponds were bigger than I thought they were going to be.
Yeah.
That's not an easy application, right?
8 inches to be excited.
What was your writer's room like on there? Was it a big, because I worked on shows back in the day when you were allowed to have a big writer's room. Mm-hmm. It was like a full, like when we did Chelsea Lately, I think there were every morning 8 to 10 of us. I've heard, but it was like a room.
Yeah.
Was it wild? Like were the guys throwing paper balls and like shitting each other's desk?
Yeah, I mean, there was stuff. We had like 12, 13 riders, but most of them were like mascots.
Yeah.
We had like 4 that got all the stuff on the air. And then I had a writer's assistant. I would just go sit in his office and lay on the floor and just start talking about stuff that I was trying to picture.
But you had the networks put money into things that were important. Like to me, writer's room, when you start taking money away from shows and you start in the writer's room, that's a huge problem. And one of the reasons I think back then the shows were successful is so we had 10 people in the room, right, in Chelsea.
Right.
So, and she was very specific about having different voices in the writing room. Uh-huh. So you had, when you were pitching from every angle.
Right.
And now when you have these small writer's rooms, you're pitching from one angle.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make it doesn't make, I think the jokes aren't as good because you're going down one street all the time. And when you have a big room,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. Lots of diversity. I mean, all white or Jewish,
yes.
But I mean, different parts of the
different
country, different
Jewish.
Experience.
Yeah.
We have Hasidim. We have Sephardic.
Yeah, you've got Studio City Jewish. You got Beverly Hills
There's
Jewish.
Encino Jew.
Yeah, it's a different Jew.
Different Jew. We have the North American domesticated. We have the dangerous Israeli Jew.
No, you got to dance around. There's 5 or 6 different types of Jews in the Valley alone.
Oh, yeah.
There's a Glendale Jew, which leans Armenian, which is weird.
Yeah, different kind of Jew.
You gotta dance around. Hava Nagila the whole time.
That is a Cologne-driven, catback exhaust system Jew, which you don't see.
That thing
at
got a Hammett.
Hillel.
My dad used to call me the only white trash Jew he had ever met.
Oh yeah,
Because he would walk. I was a single dad raising 3 kids. We lived in one room. He told me one day, he walked in. He goes, I half expect next time I walk in here to see like a velvet picture of Neil Diamond on your wall. Like,
that is white trash Jew.
yeah.
It's supposed to be Elvis.
Yeah. But have you seen the clips, by the way, for Hugh Jackman in the Neil Diamond wig?
Yes, I have. That
I didn't.
seems off.
Yeah. I first of all, I'm an unabashed fan of Neil Diamond. Fuck off if you're going to give me shit for Neil Diamond. I'm on board for Neil Diamond.
Right.
But I need to get to the bottom of this Hugh Jackman singing and dancing.
Yeah, well, I mean, he can sing and he can dance.
Very well.
Oh, he's classically trained, I believe.
Is he?
Ballerina even.
Oh yeah, he does lots of music.
yeah, this man is a
Ballerina?
ballerina, yeah. He's good dancer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does. He does a lot of Broadway and lots of musicals.
Yeah.
So he's got that part going for him.
I'm on board. I'm also a huge Kate Hudson fan. Like, have you listened to any of her singing?
She's
recently?
a great singer.
Holy shit.
I know.
And when she first started singing, she didn't lean into her fame, and she played like a bunch of really small, from what I understand, 50, 100 person places just to get used to being on stage. But she can fucking straight up sing, and she's one of the sexiest people. When she's singing, it's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
It's almost like she missed her calling and was born to be a rock star.
Yeah. I agree. And Hudson, she's of the Hudson brothers who were like singing Saturday morning, whatever group back in the day.
I didn't know that they were a group.
Yeah, the Hudson brothers were a group. And I mean, I don't know if they were sort of Hanson, pre-Hanson, but the Hudsons, and they had like a Saturday morning show on ABC.
They did?
Yeah.
By the way, I knew I wanted to talk to you about something. I saw a clip the other day that I had never seen before that I'm sure you can help educate me on. I saw Karen Carpenter playing drums.
Yeah.
I had never seen her play drums before.
She was the drummer in the band.
She was so fucking good, dude. Her style was so ridiculous. And I don't know that there were a lot of female drummers in bands back then.
No.
But her style is so fucking amazing. I deep dive a little after watching that Zeppelin doc.
The only one from back in the day was Phyllis Collins, who was Phil Collins' sister. No, I made that up.
Oh, I was going to say Phyllis and Phil. That would be so rough.
No, Karen Carpenter was behind the drum kit, and I guess sort of a Don Henley thing or something. And they eventually, or Phil Collins, and they eventually go, well, you got to move up
to the front.
To the front. Yeah.
Watching the drummers sing are always very.
Because you have to be seated, yeah. So
Dude,
your diaphragm's up this way and you're getting down.
I'm for sure not that coordinated to be able to remember all of this and this.
Well, I figured for an expert drummer, you could have a conversation, and then the next, strengthening your diaphragm, you could do it with enough practice.
I don't know. I've always had. I'm with you in that I had to have a great appreciation for people who drum and sing at the same time, because I don't feel like I could separate the two activities.
Every sparring day, I'm singing the whole time.
You're singing?
Every time I'm sparring, I sing or I'll rap at the guys. It's like feels natural because it's a rhythmic motion. You can talk in between.
Yeah, I mean, I
fight the boys and I'll rap the old dirty bastard at them.
I can buy that. I don't feel like I would drum and sing. I feel and I've always weirdly singled that out. Like I go through life where I see these guys curling and I go, yeah, give me a few beers. I could do it. I see the guy from the Romantics singing What I Like About You behind the drum kit, and I go, can't do that.
I agree with you 100%. It's almost like I look at it like it's the one thing in life I'll never be able to understand.
I think we have Karen Carpenter doing a drum solo and singing.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Here she is.
Look at her style, dude. So
effortless.
Oh, wow.
look at her style. It's so, dude. This is.
Yeah, I just knew she was the drummer. I didn't know she was a really good drummer.
I went down a rabbit hole with her playing, and she's so next level as a drummer. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, I can't even say that I know enough about drumming to know. I mean, you know, when you see her, you go, oh, that looks good. Like she knows what she's doing.
Yeah, that was very impressive because I had just watched that Becoming Zeppelin doc. And I kind of went down a rabbit hole of drummers, and I started to watch and read about people talking about her. And I was like, oh, let me take a look. It's like when people talk about Ringo Starr, and you're like, well, how good was he? But then when you listen to other drummers talk about him, there's a nuance to what he did that I'm like, okay.
I don't know. I told this to Carrot Top, and I brought up Ringo to him. And maybe the last time we were together, we were on stage with Carrot Top in Vegas. And Carrot Top was sort of the butt of the comedy jokes all through the 90s. And you're going to end up like Carrot Top, or you got to get a trunk with baby on board as a baby stapled to a surfboard or something like that. And he was joke. And then all of a sudden you hear people going, you know, Carrot Top, man, that guy's really, really funny. And I'm like, first off, was he that unfunny, and is he this funny? Or is this some sort of compensation swing from all the fragging we did for all those years? And then I said, and he realizes it, I said, it's the same with Ringo Starr. There's a lot of like, oh, this guy's the Ringo of this four-man basketball team. You know, because always like the Ringo's like the talentless guy who's dragged along and not doing anything. And then all of a sudden, after 2 decades of that, we're like, you know, he's a really good drummer. He's probably top 3, top 4 of all time. It's like, wow, all you did was make fun of him for 20 years, and now he's a great and accomplished drummer. And so is it a kind of Carrot Top thing? Which isn't to say Ringo's not a good drummer and Carrot Top's not a good comedian, but did we swing it too hard?
Well, just wait till Ringo dies and they find all that porn.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to know what kind of porn Ringo Starr is into.
All Yoko.
Allyoko.com. I'm going to Google that one.
So I think there are people, in a way, Andrew Dice Clay went through a little of that, where it's like he was top of the world, then it's like, okay, he's a joke.
Pauly
and now
too.
it's like, he's really funny.
Pauly, too.
Yeah.
Pauly's bat on the upswing. But that, you know...
But is it on the upswing because we were making fun of them for so long, or because they're doing something, you know, different and dynamic and better?
I don't know the answer to that.
I think it's compensation for us.
When's Judge Reinhold coming back? That's what I mean. He went to that bottom. He was a punchline for a while, and now let's bring Judge Reinhold back. I find it so funny that in our business, the when you call upon someone B-list or has been, that it's some sort of insult. But the truth of the matter is, Judge Reinhold is in the 1%. His career is in the 1% of people who have ever done this.
He's one of the best rock drummers to ever climb behind a kit.
Who?
Judge Reinhold. Oh, we're talking acting.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Who's Judge Reinhold plays drums? Oh, I was.
You just knocked yourself out of the 1%, bro. You're no longer in the 1% of comedy by not getting that super simple joke.
The top 250 kicks you out.
You fell right out of the top 10%.
Oh, my God.
Yes, of course. Listen, I say it all the time. Like they go, you know, a golfer, a tennis player, a race car driver. And they go, was that guy any good? I go, do you know his name? Yeah. Okay, because you only know the name of 7 race car drivers and 9 golfers and 4 tennis players. Like, if you know his fucking name, that's something.
Good. Yeah.
Well, he's in some rarefied air if you even know the person's name.
Some of my favorite clips are like the 12th man off of an NBA bench playing pickup games with dudes in the park who think they can beat him. And just like Brian Scalabrine, that dude with red hair, used to play for the Celtics. The people just thought he was a scrub because he was this giant white dude who was 12th dude off the bench. But internet videos of him just and he goes hard at people. He's a big dude. He bodies them up. He fucking dunks on them, and he talks mad shit.
Really?
People. Yeah. The Brian Scalabrine videos online of him beating people are some of my favorites.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We're all guilty as human beings of sitting and watching somebody do something and go, I could do that.
It's like when anybody questions anybody's toughness in the UFC. Okay, if you're judging them against other people in the UFC, maybe some are tougher than others, but every dude in the UFC is tougher than you sitting at home watching it on
Listen,
the
bud,
fucking
I had
TV.
an old show that was all about that, where tough guys thought they could fight trained mixed martial artists.
Is that true?
Yeah, Bully Beatdown.
Bully Beatdown. It was a classic show and translated to like 42 languages. It was a really good show.
And did any of the bullies ever win?
Well, one guy gamed the system and stalled out the fighter, and the fighter really didn't understand the task at hand.
Yeah.
The wild man Denny was just like beating the guy's ass, giving him a concussion, but not playing by the rules where he lost all the money. So, yeah, in that way, I guess somebody won.
Right.
But at what cost? It was a Pyrrhic victory.
Yeah. Getting your ass beat is not a victory.
Hey, it's definitely not a good Saturday night.
No, not at all.
Look, being a human, it is not easy these days. You got fitness routines, mental resilience, personal goals, burnout. It's a lot. That's why there's the Life Kit podcast from NPR. It's basically a guide for living without pretending life comes with a manual, because every day you're making choices, some big, some small, but they do add up. Life Kit helps you make those decisions with more confidence. They've got real stories, clear takeaways, and advice you can actually use. No fluff, no judgment. I listened to an episode on burnout, and the big takeaway, sometimes stepping back makes you more effective than just muscling through. It hit home. I did learn something. They cover it all: relationships, finances, parenting, your career, the parts of life most people struggle with, and they give you a game plan to tackle it. The whole thing isn't about being perfect. It's about living a little better, starting right now. Right, Dawson?
Listen now to the Life Kit podcast from NPR.
A clip to get into with all the Charlie Kirk stuff. Yeah. And, you know, for me, I guess the minds go in different places with these kinds of tragedies and situations. And for me, I'm kind of more the person that wants to examine the reactions versus the actual events. Mm-hmm. The events are baked into life: the assassinations, the plane crashes, the car crashes, the weird tragedies, the cut down in their prime, cut short, you know, that kind of stuff. It's sad, and I'd like it to go away, but it's kind of baked in to me. You know, we were talking Beatles, you know, John Lennon gunned down in the streets. Why? You know, it's like, yeah, I don't know why, but it seems to be baked in to our culture. All cultures, really. Just the tragedy and the sort of random tragedy of life. And so to me, when something like that happens, I tend to like focus on like our society and how we react and what we do, you know? And like when John Lennon gets gunned down in cold blood, then appropriately the following Sunday, you know, 250,000 people show up at the park and light a candle.
That?
Yeah.
You
know, and they play Give Peace a Chance, you know, and then you go, all right, but you don't have people on news channels making fun of John Lennon. No. You know what I mean? It wasn't acceptable. It was, and you know, we didn't have the internet back then, but I imagine there wouldn't have been a lot of trolls talking shit about John Lennon back then. Now there would be. Now there would be.
But there have been, I don't know if you remember, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, people started to dissect Imagine and take apart like that it wasn't a positive song and the things he was saying. And I'm like, God, what are we doing that we're dissecting Imagine 40 years later?
Yeah.
Do you know?
I do hate that song, but yes, I know what you're saying.
But you know what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
So there's a clip, and then I also kind of realized. So there was some controversy last week, which is the TMZ was doing their live stream, and they heard
raucous
laughter and cheering, and I wanted to kind of break it down. Then they gave an excuse that was because of a car chase, but when you sync up the timelines and you watch the car chase, it's pretty much a Daihatsu charade just going through LA to medium speed. There's no explosion. There's no pit maneuver. There's no rumble strip that popped the tires. There's nothing spectacular. There's nothing going on in the car chase that would elicit a reaction.
Okay.
Like, I've seen a million car chases, and the way car chases work is you just sit there and watch them, and then at some point the guy T-bones a gardener truck, and you go, whoa!
Yeah.
But you don't really cheer or laugh.
No.
You just go, oh!
There's no cheering. We don't know who's in the car.
Right.
You're not rooting for anybody, for sure.
Right. So here's the tape, and he's doing a live stream, and you can hear what sounds like the cheers, and we'll just play it.
Bit. That the driver is
so my
playing
guess
this
is
cat and mouse
we're going to
game
see
with the
an
CHP,
image of this guy
is so unusual to watch.
possibly in the
I'm
next
not
20
used to
minutes.
seeing
The
this
news conference is
It's
scheduled
superimposed over the car chase.
banner below.
3
You can see
o'clock
it started
in Utah
Temple
time,
City,
which is 2
and we saw
o'clock
that.
Pacific.
Go ahead, Philip.
Well, I wanted to let you know that President Trump has said Charlie Kirk has died.
Go to.
All right, so there's clapping and cheering.
Yeah.
I'll show you the naked one without the car footage in it, but it's synced up, and the car can't even be seen. It's behind a building, and it's driving at kind of pedestrian speeds down a side street.
That's the 300 underdog got the knockout kind of cheer.
Yeah.
Yes. So we'll play it to you without the
that is
superimposed.
not what I was expecting him to look like.
Whatever.
He's a lawyer.
Sorry, here it is.
A visual of the shooter if he's still on the loose because they want to find him. So I would think that that's one of the main reasons they're holding this news conference. So my guess is we're going to see an image of this guy possibly in the next 20 minutes. The news conference is scheduled for 3 o'clock in Utah time, which is 2 o'clock Pacific, 5 o'clock Eastern. Janet, go to.
All right, so it's women. Seems like women clapping and hooting. Now I watch TMZ, and TMZ has the peanut gallery, and there's probably 15 to 20 people around, and there's like 1.5 conservative guys, and the other are just super progressive chicks. I mean, it's not a full 2.
Yeah,
and they're super. The chicks are super motivated liberals, and they're loud. Like they're like, whoa, you can hear them. And so there's no doubt. And they said, they had to try to walk this back and say they were reacting to a car chase.
Yeah.
Women don't really care about car chases. They don't clap. They don't shriek. They're not that loud. They don't celebrate. So they were cheering the fact that Charlie Kirk had died. Okay. So then you go, well, what is it about that? Well, first things first, I don't think that women, and this is a societal thing, and it's what's going on now, and I've been complaining about for a long time, and no one will listen to me, and everyone thinks I'm a douchebag, but they're not as good at, Lady Gaga aside, the poker face. Like, if you said to one, if they had an arch enemy, and you just told this woman, Veronica's dead, she'd let out a cheer just spontaneously. Like, they're not that good at the keep it turned down. Their emotions are going to get out. So, like, a guy might think, oh, I'm glad Charlie Kirk is dead, but he wouldn't vocalize. He wouldn't spontaneously make that noise in a public environment. You know what I mean? So they reacted. And they're happy about it because they're very progressive and very liberal. And if you think Charlie Kirk is going to help Hitlerian guys seize power and become the president of the United States, then it would make sense for you to cheer on his demise. And I've said this a million times, and I'm not even, it's weirdly, it's not an attack against those people. The French resistance were doing the right thing. There was a guy named Adolf Hitler. He was taking over Europe, and they fought him. And they fought him by any means possible. They faked IDs, and they got outfits, and they forged papers and stuff, and we applaud it because we go, you're trying to stop this Hitler who's trying to take over Europe. Well, if you keep calling Trump Hitler, then the people that attempt to assassinate him or assassinate his lieutenants or his generals or the people like Charlie Kirk that were responsible for putting him in office, then it all tracks. It all makes sense to me.
But listen, man, I would say that I am far right of Los Angeles, but I bet you I'm more left than a lot of people who listen to this show. And I really do consider myself somebody who lives in the middle because I'm somebody who's always thought if you have 4 years of Democrats, you should immediately then have 4 years of Republicans. Because that's what this country is. And people who live in a country, I feel like, need to be heard. Because when you're not heard and you're pushed underground, what happens?
Yeah.
You come up fucking fighting. All right. So I have always felt, whether I agree with it or not, 50% of the country, which is what we're usually split up in, needs to be serviced. You can't just have, 16 years of Democrats, because what's going to come out is a bunch of angry fucking people. You can't have 16 years of Republicans because what's going to come out is angry people. People need to be heard. Yeah. So I think, though, at the same time with the left dehumanizing, because that's what that is. When you're calling somebody Hitler, in that group Hitler, you're dehumanizing him.
Yeah.
At the same time, when all you do is refer to, I hear from people all the time, oh, you're one of the good ones. What does that mean?
Good Jews?
Yeah. What does that mean?
Barely a Jew.
I'm half Jew. Yeah.
You're Jew Billy.
I got to tell you, somebody, because I'm full Jewish, but somebody told me the other day, you don't look Jewish. And I was like, you know what? By the way, I'm not offended by that. I take it as a compliment.
Yeah, you could almost be Italian. Yeah. That's great.
Way better than looking like Seinfeld. But point being, if you're on the other side and all you say is radical left and these people want to destroy our countries, it's the same thing. You're dehumanizing an entire group of people, which makes it easier to do terrible things to that group.
Yeah.
Right?
So I agree. That I think the difference, and then we'll be honest here, which is I think it's policy versus person. I live in California, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, Gavin Newsom with this fucking clean needle exchange program. That just means more junkies at the park, or he wants the girls to be able to use the boys' bathroom and the boys, as long as they identify. That's so destructive, But I don't say he's Hitler.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So when your policy is bad, it'd be nice if you change course on your policy, but you don't need to be killed. Your policy needs to change. Yeah. But if you are Hitler, then you do need to be put in the ground. And so I would argue, and it's a weird thing because the left goes, we got to tone down the rhetoric, and then they go, he's Hitler.
Yeah, that's
and it's like
rhetoric.
You can't do that. Yep. You have to go, let's tone down the rhetoric. I think his policies are bad. I think tariffs are going to hurt this nation. I think what he's doing with ICE or whatever. But as soon as you start doing he's weaponized ICE, they're collecting citizens off the street and disappearing them into gulags, well, now that guy's got to go into the ground.
Yep.
And that's where we're at. Do you have that Jen Psaki clip I told you from? Because
the rhetoric in general, dude.
It's all heated.
It's so...
I see... I know. I'm pushing back because what I'm saying is I don't think the rhetoric is ever going to go away as long as our policies are that far apart.
I agree.
Okay, so you go.
I agree.
You go, I want the border shut down, locked down tight. Then you're like, I'm not going to put National Guard at the border. Okay, so we're never going to agree. And there's going to be a rhetoric. But the difference is calling somebody Hitler or calling them a dictator or whatever it is. That's who gets the sniper's bullet. The rhetoric and the disagreement and I said good day, sir, and storm out of the building and stuff, that doesn't require a bullet. Hitler requires a bullet.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And if you're using logical terms, anybody in the War Department of Hitler, like any of the lieutenants or any of the folks that are behind him or trying to get him elevated, need a bullet as well. And that's the problem we're at. So here's the problem. Jen Psaki is up there talking to astronaut Kelly, and Trump releases a statement, and Trump basically says what I'm saying, which is you can't keep calling these people this and not expect attempts to be made on their life. It's not only is it logical, but if it's true, then it is a patriotic move to attempt this. I mean, Hitler... we don't look down at the guy who tried to blow up Hitler with the attaché case and Valkyrie with Tom Cruise. I mean, that guy was a hero.
Worst accent ever.
All right, but a hero for trying to do that because he was Hitler.
Yes.
Well, if you believe this, then it's almost a duty, is what I'm saying.
I hadn't thought of that. Yep.
I don't think they believe it. I think they say it and a handful of people believe it. But we'll listen to Jen Psaki here.
But he put out a 4-minute video, and I'm not going to play the video. I don't want to play the video. But there was a line at the end that I think is, I just wanted to raise and read. At the end of this 4-minute video, he says, "For years, those on the radical left have compared wonderful Americans like Charlie to Nazis and the world's worst mass murderers and criminals. This kind of rhetoric is directly responsible for the terrorism that we're seeing in our country today, and it must stop right now." And obviously, there's a lot of rhetoric that is problematic. A lot of it is coming from one particular side and from one particular building. But what can be done? I fear when this is an escalation already in less than 24 hours of this shooting.
Yeah.
Right. All right. So she's calling it an escalation.
I have a question, though, okay?
Right. But you can, I'll just say this. Like, you can go low IQ Jeb Bush or sleepy Hillary Clinton. You don't need a bullet for sleepy.
Agreed.
But you need a bullet for Hitler.
I agree.
And he's saying, stop calling people Hitler. That's what's causing this. And she's going, what's with the rhetoric? Why is that rhetoric?
Let me ask you a question. And I'm curious what your honest opinion is. Why do you think the Charlie Kirk story, I mean, honestly, one of the reasons it's never going to go away is because we all watched it. And so that makes it so much more prominent in our brains. But why is the Charlie Kirk story bigger than the kids who died in the high school yesterday or the senator who died at her house in Minnesota? Like, why do you think?
Because he took on an adversarial role with the trans community and the LGBT.
I'm with you. But why is this such a point the arrow moment as opposed to somebody who came to a senator's house and killed him, or we still have kids dying multiple times in schools? So like, it's such a crazy thing to me. And by the way, nobody should die for having different opinions.
Yeah.
But the fact that kids died in a high school yesterday and that story or whenever, and that story is buried is such a crazy moment in time for me to be like, this is not even top news in our country, is kind of crazy to me.
Yeah, it is America.
Well, I mean, going back to, there's a kind of pragmatic side to what you're asking, which is if George Clooney dies on vacation in Mexico, it's a bigger story than Judge Reinhold dying on vacation in Mexico, just because that's who we are.
Right,
and you go, well, they're both actors. What about Judge Reinhold? It's like, well, one's more, on the tip of people's tongues. People know, like the senator and her husband and the dog or something. Like, it's horrible, but I didn't know her before the news.
South Park just lambasted him in a recent episode.
The
South Park did.
Oh, Charlie Kirk.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because Cartman did a whole deal.
There's an element of that. And I think that's always going to be a well-known person versus 12th man on the NBA team. Sort of when Michael Jordan goes, it'll be a bigger deal than the ginger who's schooling up guys at the park. I can't even remember his name.
And the fact that we had 6 different angles of it and all that shit. And
he's a meme, like an active meme. He has been for years.
Also, I think at age 31, his potential, like a lot of people said, he would have been the president at some point. So like it is a little bit of that. If you had a time machine, would you kill Hitler kind of thing? Like if you were super hard left and you bought into Charlie Kirk being Hitlerian and evil and racist and homophobic and stuff like that, then he could be the president in 20 years or 18 years or whatever it is. Yeah. So now we're dealing with that. My thing is all the talk in the world is fine and all the disagreement in the world is fine. And all, calling a J.D. Pritzker fat or something, like, I don't like it, but it's fat. Like, I don't have to kill fat
You don't have to kill
people.
fat guy. Yeah.
Right. And so I'm saying keep it all, get rid of the Hitlerian dictator part, which they won't get rid of. But if you get rid of that part, I think you'll have less assassination attempts. That's what I'm saying.
I do think it's an interesting thing I hadn't thought of, but almost if you are thinking that this dude is Hitler, you're right. It almost feels patriotic to be like, well, then for the country, like I hadn't thought about that.
For the good of humanity.
I hadn't thought about that in the danger in calling these people dictators.
Well, and also
I
I would say this as a guy who knows people on the right and left, and I'll say this. I know who, Charlie Kirk, Dennis Prager, Tucker Carlson, sort of before he really started spinning out in the last few months. But I know spent time with, had conversations with, I know all these guys.
Yeah.
They're nice guys.
Yeah.
And they're smart and they have a different opinion. But the thing that I'd realize is like, I disagree with Anderson Cooper and I disagree with George Clooney and I disagree with all these people, but I don't think they're bad people. I know who they are. I don't think George Clooney's evil. George Clooney's a super nice dude. He cares a lot. I think he comes from a position that's not he's a mom who loves the kid who says, let him eat candy for breakfast. I love him. And I'm the dad who's going, you're rotting his teeth out. Give him some fucking broccoli.
Yeah.
And you're going, he doesn't like broccoli. And I'll leave him alone. And I'm like, I don't think she doesn't love her son. I feel like she's doing something that's going the wrong direction and the kid's getting fat. But I've never accused her of not having great love for her son. And there's millions of sort of Stephen Colbert, Jimmy Kimmel. There's many people on the left, right? Because those aren't bad people. Those are like family people, and they love their family. They love their nation and stuff like that. The right gets, and so I remember once I was, I watch football here on Sundays with with the boys years ago or something, and I just got done. Tucker Carlson came to town, and I did some stuff with him. And I said to him, what are you doing in town? I said, I'm going home Sunday morning or whatever. And I go, oh, well, I'm going to I'm doing a set at the Comedy Store Saturday night. You want to come by? And he goes, yeah, I guess. I go, well, what are you doing? He goes, I'm just at the hotel. I got nothing to do. My wife and kids no one's here. I go, well, why don't I'll pick you up. We'll go out to dinner. And then we'll go to the Comedy Store and I'll do a set in the main room, crowded, you know. He's got baseball hat, sunglasses, Woody Allen nose attached to the glasses, scarf, collar pop, He comes trench coat, comes sliding in there. And then so the next day I went to watch football Sunday morning. And so when I walked in, people were like, hey, what's going on, man? What's been going on? I said, well, it was funny. Last night I went out with Tucker Carlson, went to the Comedy Store, which is, you just got to picture Tucker Carlson walking into the Comedy Store, right? And one of the guys, maybe two of the guys, I said, I was out with Tucker Carlson. We had dinner, and then we went to, I just heard my friend, he's just going, bad dude. It's bad dude. And I said, he's not a bad dude. You don't know. By the way, you have a cartoon version of him that MSNBC stuffs up your fucking ass. You don't get to know any of these people. You don't know who Charlie Kirk is. You don't know who Dennis Prager is. You don't know Tucker Carlson, Sean Hannity. You don't know who any of these guys are. You just think they're evil. And if you're evil, you got to be stopped. Yep. And that's part of the problem. I think the right disagrees with Anderson Cooper, but doesn't think he's evil or bad. It's just like, I don't like that guy. I disagree with his policies. Yeah, there's a small group that hates him, but I don't think anybody hates George Clooney. They just think he's misguided or he's on the wrong side of whatever subject.
What about Rachel Maddow?
They don't need her stopped. Silenced and stopped are not the same two things. You can be put in a cage on an island and silenced. No, they think she's dumb, basically. Or they think she's a liar or whatever. She's getting paid. But nobody questions whether they love their kids or they love their country or whatever that thing is. And I'm just saying the left gets a cartoon version of who these guys are. They should figure out, and it's incumbent upon them to do a little more homework. Like, like when someone goes, well, why does this guy want to close the border? Because he hates Mexicans. It's
there's no nuance in life at all.
When I said, I did 20 minutes on, I want you to feed your own kids. I don't want the government feeding you. I don't want your kid getting used to the government. The government's feeding your kids slop. I want them to know mom and dad are providing for them. And 10 minutes later, Huffington Post, like, Adam doesn't like kids. Adam wants kids. Yeah, I want kids to starve. That's who I am. Yeah. I yell it into a microphone so everyone will think Adam Carolla doesn't like kids and wants them to go hungry.
Yeah, but
it's so simple. And by the way, they know it.
But you know better than anyone that Nuance does not sell tickets. Nuance does not give clicks. That is not, so we're not at truth level for most people.
No, I get it. But I think the difference is I believe that whoever's on Fox News hates George Clooney every bit as much as Rachel Maddow hates Tucker Carlson or whatever. So that's true. But they never go bad person. They just go, that guy's a dope. He's misguided. His Hollywood friends. You know what I mean? Yeah. But they never go into evil. Like they don't stray into evil.
There is, and I'm not sticking up for either side because I think everybody... we're so tribalized right now that we've dehumanized people that we don't agree with. In general, I think.
No, I don't. They'll go, that Clooney guy, hey, he's a good actor. I liked a lot of his movies, but he doesn't know what he's doing on, whatever.
Every person that I speak to, when I tell them at my shows and meet and greets that I moved out of LA, they're like, because all the pedophiles, right? I'm like, what do you mean all the pedophiles?
Oh, yeah.
Do you think that everybody, every actor, everybody's a pedophile?
No, it's probably 50%, and I'm not a pedophile, Mayhem, so do the math.
Yeah, I hear you.
SimpliSafe. I want to talk about home security for just a minute. For years, I just thought it was about having an alarm that goes off once someone's already kicked in your door and standing in your entry hall. But by then, I think it's a little bit too late. The guy's already in the house, helping himself to your TV and your Pop-Tarts and all your durable goods. Well, that's the problem. Traditional security, well, that's reactive. That's why I use SimpliSafe. They're flipping the whole model, proactive instead of reactive. So here's how it works. Smart cameras powered by AI can tell the difference between a squirrel and some guy lurking in your yard. It's about stopping crime before it gets to your front door. So don't wait until after the damage is done. Get proactive. Protect with SimpliSafe. That's SimpliSafe, right, Dawson?
You can get 50% off your new SimpliSafe system with professional monitoring and your first month free at SimpliSafe.com/Adam. Just head to SimpliSafe.com/Adam to claim your discount and make sure your home is safe this year. Keep your home, your family, and your peace of mind protected with SimpliSafe. There's no safe like SimpliSafe.
This September, CBS hits are streaming free on Pluto TV.
I'm coming in hot.
For this month only, stream full episodes of Matlock.
I'm a lawyer, like the old TV show.
Fire Country, Elsbeth.
I do love a mystery.
NCIS Origins, Watson, and Ghosts.
What the hell?
This is the most amazing sight I've never seen.
All for free. The CBS shows you love this month only on Pluto TV. Stream now, pay never.
Okay, there's another thing, and then we'll do news, which is There's an extreme right and extreme left.
Yes.
And the extreme right is the pedophile Jew space laser thing or something.
By the way, I wish I could control the weather,
I know.
dude.
Listen, I'm on 1, 2, 3, and 4chan.
How amazing if I could control the weather from Vegas.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
Honestly, dude, and people are like, Jews control Hollywood. I'm like, I've never booked a role in anything.
I know.
So
well, you don't look Jewy
I'm not
enough.
Jewy enough.
You should amp your Jew up a little bit.
How should I do that, you think?
Listen,
I should
point that space laser right at the casting director.
Should I just keep pulling the nose out? Should I droop my face a little more? How can I get more Jewy?
I'll tell you.
Get circumcised again.
I'll tell you. Yeah, double circumcision. Walk in with a limp to your next audition and go, sorry, it's just the second circumcision. It wasn't like the old foreskin was growing back, but it wasn't not.
It was smaller than a skin tag, but bigger than a mole.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's covered by your PPO.
And say, take your language and switch it around. Like, don't go, do you want me to come back later? Say, I should come back later.
Good
so
one.
you see what I mean? It's just a flipping of
And
the
go up at
sentence.
the end. Later? Yeah.
I should come back later?
Yeah, that's the way
Maybe
to do it.
sing Fiddler of the Roof soundtrack.
And then come in complaining like over nothing. $3 for parking? $3 for parking. Who am I, Elon Musk over here? What am I, Elon? Am I Elon Musk over here? $3.
Yeah. And repeat it a couple times.
Right,
You
right.
have to say it and to everybody you see.
Small hats are in fashion as well.
I have to say, I'm so bummed out by the yarmulke. It's such a terrible fashion choice.
It's a non-hat. It's
What is
really.
it? Give me a hat or don't give me a hat.
I would like to convert so I can cover up my bald spot.
It is. I mean,
This
it is.
baloney patch is starting to show through.
It is perfectly made for that
The bald spot?
scalp
That's
male
what I'm
pattern
So you think
baldness.
that's why they made
Yes.
it? Because Jews bald.
100. This is not a winky dink. Oh, nice coincidence. Shelverstein.
Yeah.
Shelverstein.
I don't know. Is that a Jewish name?
You've
It
never
is
met
now.
a Jew in your
Hey,
Shelver?
I didn't meet one until I was 25. I thought y'all only showed up in movies.
Shelverstein.
Shelverstein is
Phil Shelverstein. There's oh my God. Yeah. So anyway, go up an octave, repeat it, complain about stuff. You know
Do you
what I mean?
think I'll get more?
You know, it's good. I'll tell you what to do too. It's a
Okay.
good Jewy thing. Ask for stuff they don't offer.
on the menu?
Either on the menu or like when you go in for the casting call, where they
Yeah.
go, would you like still or bubbly water? And then you go, do you have orange juice?
Yeah,
And they go, no, we have still no orange juice. Like, make sure you get a little grabby about stuff that annoys them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Do you have snacks?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Do you have any kosher meat?
Yeah.
How about some matzah?
By the way, can I tell you? So my parents used to make me lunch. I dreaded the week where we didn't eat bread. Do you know how embarrassing it was to go into school and unwrap a matzah peanut butter and jelly sandwich out of plastic wrap?
Oh,
unleavened.
They couldn't.
Because I didn't grow up around a ton of Jews, and
Uh-huh.
so people are always like, "Why do you eat that again?"
Yeah, it's the unleavened bread.
Oh, the matzah is the worst. And with matzah with peanut butter and jelly is maybe the driest thing you'll ever
it will
put in your mouth.
cleave immediately to the roof of your mouth, and you won't be able to speak for 11 to 21 hours.
And the matzah will cut your mouth like a nacho chip.
Oh yeah,
It's
it'll fuck you up.
the Jews. Here's Jews not known for our food. You've never been like besides a deli, but that deli.
No,
Come on, bro.
not
Pastrami, right?
No, yeah, the Jews are funny because
gefilte fish, dude.
They are the thing that's I've always said about Jews is they're not risk takers. They're not daredevils. There's no evil Knievel Jews.
No.
But when it comes to eating, they are fucking daredevils. Like they serve tongue. They serve a lot of liver. They serve a lot of organs. They have cold gelatinous fish and stuff like
grossest.
They have the grossest. My Hungarian grandfather he wanted stuffed goose liver, like all the liver. I like. How about ribs? How about some baked beans? How about some coleslaw? No. We need gizzard and lung and organ and tongue and like the shit people are throwing out. They love chicken liver. Who the fuck wants chicken?
My grandfather he would put the chicken liver and herring.
Herring!
He would put the chicken liver and he would put it on a cracker and he'd hand you one with a piece of herring on top of it.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But
what are we doing?
I'm saying the average white guy, you could say, would you eat some chicken liver? And they'd go, no. Would you get on this Yamaha 125 and jump it over that school bus? Yeah, okay. I mean, is that my only choice? Yeah, it's either eat the liver or get on the bike. All right, can I have a helmet? Yeah. No. You mean for eating the liver? Yeah, you can wear a helmet for that, but not for the school bus. Fuck it, give me the bike. You hear them like throwing revs and taking off. That's what an average white guy would do with chicken liver.
It's not.
It's documented, by the way.
It's not. The herring itself.
Herring.
And even the herring plain in the white sauce, in the cream sauce, the herring in the cream
gefilte.
The gefilte is the grossest thing you're ever going to put in your mouth.
Gelatinous. Just gelatin, cold meat, salty, protein, fishy.
Here's why I think it happens. I think Jews inherently hate ourselves.
Oh, yeah.
So that's what we're like, well, listen.
Self-loathing.
Yeah. Self-loathing food.
Yeah, we're going to eat the parts of the cow the blue-eyed devil doesn't want. Fish that out of the dumpster.
That's right. Let's get a hoof in here.
Sounds like Jews made Fear Factor.
Yeah, it really is.
We lived it for a little while.
Yeah. I'll tell you this, though. Do yourself a favor. That's going to be a new segment. Scramble that matzah in with the eggs, man. That is good. That is good. When that matzah soaks up a little of the butter and a little of the egg juice there, that's good.
Jewish chilaquiles is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I love a chilaquiles. I'll go over to Hugo's here.
Hugo's, man.
Get a chilaquiles. But that matzah chilaquiles,
it's good.
Yeah, for sure.
Underutilized. And then the other
Did you go to bar mitzvahs growing up?
No, I grew up in the valley and with no Jews, but there were Jews up in the hills, Hebrew Heights, we called it.
The Jews have trickled down a little bit.
I know. I'm saying we got to dam this up because I caught a Jew. I caught a Jew in Sun Valley the other day. Yeah, he made it over.
Nah, it's like the coyotes. They're coming out of the hills.
That's right. It's their land.
They haven't finished that wall yet?
Yeah. The wall coming out of the hills.
Hey, let me ask you guys real quick. Y'all been to a party where they lift the dude up in a chair?
Yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, man.
By the way,
like fun.
I'll tell you something. The Jews in general, Hanukkah way worse than Christmas. Hanukkah music so much worse than Christmas. I've never been like, let's go to the Hanukkah party was off the chain. Like you've never said that. However, a Jewish wedding.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
That's actually a good. It's where it all comes out. It's
and they break the glass and all that tradition.
It's a pretty good
I've seen it in the movies.
Yeah,
You've never been invited to one?
I mean, I don't know no Jews.
Yeah, I know.
I'll be happy to go.
By the way, after you just, I don't know.
I'm just kidding. I know Jews, but of course, but I just never, had an occasion.
We should get you to one.
All right, sign me up to J-Date, I guess.
The thing I loved about the Jews growing up was like when I was like 14, 13, like the Jews in my junior high, we had a guy named Lloyd Goldfarb.
Yeah,
and Lloyd Goldfarb was 13, but looked like an accountant who was in his 60s, like brown leather shoes, attaché case, balding, glasses. Like I was like, he didn't seem like a 13-year-old kid. Lloyd,
but you know what, dude? I think Jews and Asians have that in common. I think we look good until one day. We all look old. A Jew, and you're right. Jews are the only group of people where at 13 you can look like an old man.
Yeah.
But Asian people look great until one day everyone looks like Mr. Miyagi. The men and the women. They all. I'm like, everyone. Same with Jews. But old face on a Jew can happen real young.
Yeah. Lloyd
and the balding.
Goldfarb.
It still wax off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Lloyd would wax off.
Goldfarb is a tough.
I mean,
that's hard.
That's a solid Jewish name right there.
It's like there was a comic. Do you ever know the comic named Avi Lieberman?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, dude, you might as well just go on stage as Jewy Jewerson. They should play Hava Nagila on the way up to the stage. Let's give them the whole thing.
I like there's the Silvermans and there's the Levins and that kind of basic stuff. And then there's Jewish names that just sound like a sound, like an ugly sound. Like we had a guy named Randy Bort. It's just like, it's like somebody belched. That was your last name, you know what I mean? Or farted.
I'm lucky the face and the last name aren't super Jewish.
You could pass.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not. Look,
are you being hunted?
Here's
Like,
the deal.
we need to put you on the floorboard?
If the trains do come back, I might be able to skirt them a little bit.
Mm-hmm. You'll be on the second train.
Yeah. I won't be like
Lloyd Goldfarb's going to be on the first train.
This man and my brother, we grew up in a trailer together.
I can also pass as kind of southern, small towny, so that's what I would kind of fit in.
Yeah.
I don't mind saying kill the Jews.
No, if it means survival. Yeah.
I mean, listen, I don't, no.
I can go either way in terms of the pass.
Has anyone ever mistaken you as Jewish?
Well, there's an interesting phenomenon. I haven't brought it up in a long time, but it's worth examining because it's a sort of look at our society.
Yep.
I grew up in North Hollywood, sort of poor, and just rode my bike around and fucking wrestled with my friends and played sports. I didn't do anything, and then I got to high school. I was a jock and played sports and did that kind of stuff, and then I got out of that, and then it was like construction, job sites, rode a motorcycle, taught boxing. It was just like on a job site, fucking with a bunch of dudes and Mexicans and stuff, all in the valley. And then that went on until I was like 30, 31, and no one had ever accused me of being a Jew. It never happened on every.
He said accused.
Accused. No one wagged their.
They thought he was a highfalutin Mexican.
I was never successfully tried for being a Jew. But, and that went on, I went on 1,000 job sites, and job sites, you always run into new dudes and a lot of subs you see for a few, they'll be on the job for like 4 days or 2 weeks, and then they leave because the HVAC guy's done or whatever. You talk about stuff or family or sports or whatever, but it never happened. And then I got into comedy, and first 6 months in comedy, I'd be sitting in writers' rooms or something. They'd go, well, Adam, you're Jewish. You know what it's like, whatever. And I'd go, I'm not Jewish, but my name is Adam, and I have kinky hair.
I was going to say, young Carolla, that hair is kind of Jewy.
Yeah, I have Jew fro. So now, never accused of being a Jew on a construction site ever, and then immediately mistaken for a Jew in the writer's room, which means there's a stereotype, and it bleeds in, and people don't even think about it. But there was no Jews on a construction site in L.A. ever. But
by the way,
many writers are Jewish. So, and by the way, I don't blame people for doing the math, because it is a math.
I would say there are no Jews, not just on construction sites in L.A. I would push that out to a broader area as in America.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Yeah.
I mean, the first company I worked for was Arthur Morgenstern and Associates, but he owned the company.
Owning the company is two different things.
Porsche.
Yeah.
Now, I used to do a joke, but it was always true. They'd go, work in construction in L.A., what's that like? I'd always go, 15 Mexicans and 3 racists named Mike. Yeah. Because every dude was named Mike on a construction site. Yeah. There were dudes, there were white dudes, and there were Mike and Kevin and Dave and like dude names, white dude names.
Oh,
and that
I
was
just
it.
realized.
There are no Adams, by the way.
Yeah, I know a Jewish plumber. I just realized. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Run the pipe. Yeah, he runs the pipe down, but snips off the tip of it.
Oh, there it is.
No, I'm just saying. I really know him. He's a great guy.
Let me ask you: is he Israeli or American Jew?
Oh, Israeli don't count.
That doesn't count. Right when you said Jewish plumber, I'm like,
Sorry, guys. I had to figure out the subspecies.
Nah, it's
got
a different
terrible accent.
American Jew, Israeli. two different dudes.
It's like the honeybee versus the Africanized killer bees. They're both bees. They look the same. Very different.
Interestingly enough, the African killer bees can get into a group of regular ones, hype them up to stab somebody to death.
Oh, really?
It's not, when they say Africanized killer bees, it's some of the African ones get over there and hype them up into a killing swarm. Yeah. Look it up.
I didn't know that.
All right. You got the
little mayhem factoid for you.
You got the news. Well, I'll tell you what.
I'll
tell you what. Take a quick break. Come back. Do the news with Josh and Mayhem right after this. SimpliSafe. I want to talk about home security for just a minute. For years, I just thought it was about having an alarm that goes off once someone's already kicked in your door and standing in your entry hall. But by then, I think it's a little bit too late. The guy's already in the house, helping himself to your TV and your Pop-Tarts and all your durable goods. Well, that's the problem. Traditional security, well, that's reactive. That's why I use SimpliSafe. They're flipping the whole model, proactive instead of reactive. So here's how it works. Smart cameras powered by AI can tell the difference between a squirrel and some guy lurking in your yard. It's about stopping crime before it gets to your front door. So don't wait until after the damage is done. Get proactive. Protect with SimpliSafe. That's SimpliSafe, right, Dawson?
You can get 50% off your new SimpliSafe system with professional monitoring and your first month free at SimpliSafe.com/Adam. Just head to SimpliSafe.com/Adam to claim your discount and make sure your home is safe this year. Keep your home, your family, and your peace of mind protected with SimpliSafe. There's no safe like SimpliSafe.
This September, CBS hits are streaming free on Pluto TV.
I'm coming in hot.
For this month only, stream full episodes of Matlock.
I'm a lawyer, like the old TV show.
Fire Country, Elsbeth.
I do love a mystery.
NCIS Origins, Watson, and Ghosts.
What the hell?
This is the most amazing sight I've never seen.
All for free. The CBS shows you love this month only on Pluto TV. Stream now, pay never.
It's time to check Adam's voicemail.
Adam, watched your Home Depot walkthrough. Nice show. Wondering about your opinion on the radial arm saw, and if a guy were to have a garage/shop where he can set it up, what if that could take the place of several other tools? Would love to hear your feedback on the radial arm saw. Thanks.
You can leave us a message at 888-634-1744.
I'm just a comedy writing Jew. What do I know from Radio Armsaw already? All right, well, here comes the non-Jew part of me. Radial arm saw, when you're setting up a garage or any place where you're going to build cabinets or bookshelves or boxes or something, you need to rip and you need to cross cut. Mm-hmm. So everything comes in a 4x8 sheet. And if you're doing something nice and you get the oak or the birch or whatever, or some shop grade Doug fir or something, you rip it. You set up your table saw and you rip it long ways. That's with the grain.
Yeah.
And then you got to cross cut it if you're making shelves or whatever that is. And when you cross cut it, that's where the radial arm saw comes in. And if you're setting up a garage or a little cabinet shop, you should have a table saw to do the ripping with a catch table. Don't just have it fall on the ground. Mm-hmm. Make a catch table that goes around the saw, kind of L-shaped, and you can slide it all the way across so it doesn't fall when it gets past that. And then you should make a bench, a long bench that has a drop out and a cut in, so you can drop your sliding compound miter saw into it, so the surface of it is even with the bench, so you can slide your stuff across and cross cut it. Now, that'll be good up to about 12 inches if you get a big one, but you can't do 24 inches. You have to get back onto the table saw and then use a sled where they cut it, cross cut on the table saw. But sliding compound miter saws, radial saws, or whatever they're doing. They're like cheaper than they used to be, and they're good. And they used to just be chop saws where just chop. Now you can slide it in front of you. And back in the day, Sears would do like a Craftsman stuff, like a top-mounted radial arm, whatever, and that was good. But yeah, you're going to have to rip, and you're going to have to cross-cut. And those are the two like basic things you're going to need to do if you're trying to set up some sort of home shop.
Do you think you could build a cabin?
Yeah. Yeah, I can build anything I want.
So, I mean, electric, all that stuff, you think you could?
Not
Well,
really
I read the entire electrical manual in prison. So just
you
so
did?
No, yeah. Entirely. I know fish tape. I know how to work duct work. Yeah, I got you, Ace.
Is electric the tricky part?
Kind of. Electric is just a bunch of tubes throughout the structure that you got to send wires through.
Yeah, except for they wouldn't do that now. They'd use Romex or VX.
Oh, I put a little rat in there and let him get the cheese.
No, they don't do they don't do conduit anymore. It's like it's too much work. They just pull Romex.
How would you do on a show like, you know those shows like Alone, where they go and they go out in the woods by themselves and they have an axe?
It's a good show. Bro.
Alone is a crazy show, but they are by themselves. Nobody there to watch. But these people are building their own little cabins.
I think that's its own kind of building, because for me, I need like 300 different tools to do what I want to do. And I know what to do with all the tools and like how to figure it out and how to work it. But the part where they're fishing and they're using, a twig and stuff, like I never learned that. I never figured that out.
No, that version of the show, they have a lot of equipment, and it's kind of survivalist dudes like who done some high speed type traveling where they lived with the reindeer farmers or
P.S.
whatnot.
No Goldbergs on that show.
No, but I love that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I guess the question is do you fatten yourself up and live off your fat reserves? Is that the way to go?
I think so, because when you watch those shows, what you really figure out is how important fat is to your survival.
Yeah. Right.
Because the people who just kill, say, there was one where somebody killed an elk, but the meat, there's not a lot of fat.
Yeah.
That meat is so lean that it was hard for them to survive with the no fat.
Well, your brain runs on fat,
Yeah.
So once that gets down, you're out of it.
Yeah. But that show is fucking fascinating, man.
Yeah, of course.
You think there'd be more genius fat people? Yeah. They seem generally stupid to me. If they're really running that brain, they got that giant fat brain with all the fat reserves.
Well, they're running on in excess, and they got zombie cells there.
That's what's going on.
Serious, yeah.
So I don't know, like a real smart fat guy. It's not a ton of them.
Mensa is not like this.
No, it's not a lot of heavyweights. It's not like a lot of ex-NFL interior linemen. That guy's sharp, man. All right, what do you got, Mayhem?
Well, of course, Charlie Kirk died, but at the time of this recording, don't know any new information and have nothing to report. We'll be back on that tomorrow. There's also 500 hours of dramatic, never before seen 9/11 footage as well. So
500 hours?
500 hours, has been released. Striking images from the ground zero recovery efforts and destroyed subway tunnels.
So
pet rescue missions. Just a lot of somebody compiled all of it.
But it's from people who were working there. It's from iPhones.
First person perspective. No iPhones at that time, but there were camera phones.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like it's all, but it's like from first responders, or it's from people who were just walking.
Everyone, they compiled all of this recently, and never before seen footage. So people have
I don't know that I need to see that.
No, I agree, but we can't forget.
Yeah,
you don't need to see anything. I've pretty much realized, like you just don't. Somebody tweeted me, or sorry, a friend of mine texted me the whole Charlie Kirk getting shot thing. And I literally, it's an old friend from high school, and I hit it, and I saw what it was, and I had to put the phone, and because I'm lame and I don't know how to erase it without seeing it, I handed the phone to Andrew and I said, erase this thing that my friend sent me, because I'm scared if I hit it and try to erase it, I'm just going to end up seeing it. No, you don't need to see that shit any more than you needed to see your parents fucking when you're 11. It just gets seared in. It's not going to help.
That one is seared in, by the way.
It's going to add a little time to your next Jack session, whether it's 9/11 or worse. Mr. Wolf going at it. Either way, you just added 8 minutes.
My dad. So I remember.
You walked in?
I didn't even walk in. They had the door open.
Oh, my God.
And so my room was down the hall from there. So when I walked out, their door was open. And I was like,
what kind of animal?
I would have kept eye contact with you.
I flew past into the kitchen.
Oh, no.
And I was just like
At
sitting
what
in the
age?
kitchen. I was probably 10 or 11. And I was in the kitchen and I was a little flummoxed.
Yeah.
And a little while later, my dad comes in his uniform, which was black socks, tighty whities, button down blue shirt. That's how he walked around the house. No pants. Never any pants. And he walked in and it was just kind of quiet. It was morning. And I'm just sitting there and just pretending to look in the fridge. And he was like, "You want some eggs?" And I was like, "What?" And he was like, "You want me to make you some eggs?" And even then, dude, this is when I was like, this is comedy stuff's fun. I was like, I'm going to need to see you wash your hands. And he was like, fair enough. And he would just wash his hands.
Peanut butter matzah, son?
There we go.
How's that root of your mouth there? Looks like it's healed.
You want Jewy Chiles?
Yeah, Jewy Chiles. But the Jew jokes for me have always been, I try to even implement them with my kids. You know, my youngest son, one of the first years he went to school, he used to love to dress up as a ninja. But I told him, I go, dude, this is his first year. We're first grade. We're going to Carpenter over in Studio City. And he was like, he goes, I'm a ninja. I go, dude, tell him you're a ninja. And that you throw stars at David.
That's funny.
And that you don't go, yeah, you go, oi.
Right.
I get called into the principal's office. And they're like, hey, your son says he's a ninja. I was like, pretty funny, right? And they were like, no.
Yeah.
Not funny.
Wait, did he have the little curls coming out of his mouth?
I should have done that one.
Carpenter was the Jew school when I was growing up.
No.
Not anymore.
It's a very wealthy. It's where wealthy people, you know,
fake their address so they can go there.
I don't know what it's like anymore. It was still kind of small when we were going there.
So it was, you know where it is. It's on
Yes.
Laurel Canyon. It's below Hebrew Heights. So all of my Jewish friends went to Carpenter.
yeah.
That's the closest elementary school. Then later on, you go to Walter Reed. That's the closest. Then you end up at North Hollywood High. But Carpenter's where everybody from the Hebrew Heights went to grade school.
I wonder, is that still Hebrew Heights? Because I've never heard that term. Is that still heavy Jewish, you think? Are you talking about like up at the top near Mulholland?
All the way up. Laurel, as soon as you get past Ventura Boulevard,
Yeah.
it used to be. I don't know. They would call them the Donna streets, Donna Dolores and Donna Sangria and Donna Pagita and like Donna. Yeah, like I used to go up there and go, "There's not one Mexican who lives here. Knock off the Donna Pagita shit. Let's call it
Hava Nagila.
Yeah, there's no. It's all Jews. The only Donnas that come in here cleaning your guy's house and then they go back to the bus stop. There's not one Mexican family here, but the streets are Donna Dolores, Donna Sangria, Donna Pagita. Like it was Donna. The first time I went to one of my friends' houses up there, I was in North Hollywood and I didn't get anywhere. And like Nate Wittenberg, it's a good Jew name. Really, Nate be like, you go up Laurel, you turn right on Donna Dolores, and then it goes up to Donna Pagita, and then you turn right and you turn on to Donna Sangria at the top. And I was just writing down Donna because I thought that's enough street. I didn't need the whole street. And then I realized every street started with the word Donna, and I know where the fuck I was. And there was no cell phones or anything.
That was the Thomas Guide. I was trying to explain to my son what the Thomas Guide was. He was like, what? I was like, it's a book, and it had giant maps and smaller maps. And he was like, well, how did you? He was like, we just looked at the book as we were driving.
Yeah, like when I used to install closets for ABC Closets, they would Xerox off the page that had the street with the name and whatever. Yeah.
My mom still prints directions.
MapQuest.
Oh, really?
I love it.
And I'm like, the directions you just printed you're printing from your phone.
Right,
So there's no real reason.
They can cut out the middleman and save a log. Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, I agree. All right, sorry. What
No,
are we talking
next
about?
up, well, we're talking about technology here. The new Hire-E robot lets you summon trash pickup like an Uber for your garbage.
Oh.
Yep, check it out. Hire-E isn't your average bin on wheels. This robot uses AI and Apple sensors, cameras, and self-driving navigation to travel through the neighborhoods.
Where is this?
Man, this is here. Apparently it's a CES prototype, and it won the CES Picks Award, so the Consumer Electronics Show.
So you have an app or something, and you ask it to come over.
It would roll right up to you, and then open up its bin, and kind of looks like a toilet. I guess Ace, you can take a dump in there.
But wait, it takes it where?
It takes it back to your garage, I guess. It just walks it out to the curb.
I don't get.
You guys aren't blown away by this.
I don't get it.
Yeah, me neither.
I don't get it.
I just want the city to pick up the shit you drag out to the curb.
Yep.
I feel like I pay enough in taxes that there's an old futon and it's done, and I drag the curb. Just fucking pick it up.
Why do I have to tell you it's going to be there? You fucking see it, right?
You have 3 large items per year. It's like, bitch, I pay millions in taxes. Now come fucking get my futon.
Pick up my fucking chair.
How about that?
Yeah. And by the way, when you put a chair on the side of the road, you don't need to put a sign that says free.
Right.
I'm going to assume I don't got to leave a 20. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, it's on the side of the road.
It's
free.
implied.
Yeah. Got it. I'm not going to knock on the door and be like, how much you want for the chair my dog just shit on? How much you want for that?
Yeah, the one with crabs in it. What are you looking to get for that?
Are these bed bugs costing extra?
$14. Okay, 1 payment or 3 payments for $14. Yeah, it's like putting a saucer of milk out for a cat and putting free under the saucer of milk. Implied free. It's out.
Yeah.
I do that once in a while. You'll pass something and it'll be dragged out onto the curb, and then someone goes, "That's a pretty good bookshelf. We should take it." I don't know. Are you sure they're? I was like, "Listen, here's the code of the street.
Free.
You put it to the curb, you can take it." I don't know what they're thinking, but they're rolling the dice if they're planning on keeping this bookshelf. That's right.
Yeah.
It's the ladies.
Do you know what I thought would be a fun show? When this was when COVID was happening, there were a lot of things out on the side of the road.
Oh, yeah.
But I thought, what a fun show to find somebody as good as you and go around and pick up and populate somebody's entire apartment with just things. You redo it, you refurbish it with just things you find on the side of the street.
I pulled this maneuver, tried my hand at cabinet refinishing. Actually,
How'd it go?
It was all right. Not bad. The glaze was not so good. It was like I refinished it, sanded it down, and like repainted it. And it looked all right. But you know what I mean? With all that effort, I could have went to IKEA.
IKEA, yeah. IKEA, there's nothing. There's no siren song of food like the Swedish meatball. Like, I don't even know if I like Swedish meatballs, but I smell one from 14 aisles away, and you're like, it's like an animated Saturday cartoon from the 70s.
Down.
He floats through the maze.
I used to go
like the Swedish meatball carries,
so good,
permeates, and pulls,
and it makes you walk through the entire store to go down the stairs.
Where is that meatball?
That IKEA in Burbank. When I was a single dad and I couldn't afford to pay for babysitting, they had that ball pit.
Yeah,
and you could drop your kids off.
Drop them off.
You could drop them off so you would shop.
And for the adults, they had the Swedish meatball.
That's right.
pit, and that's the best. I just dive into that thing.
I would just drop them off at the ball pit and go sit in IKEA for 2 hours because that's how long they gave me.
Yeah.
And I would just sit there and read.
There is a way to game the IKEA system where you go, they have like lunch specials every day, $1.99. Your partner eats for free and shit. Like, I mean, you could just go there and eat much cheaper than you could feed yourself for anywhere else.
And find a place to take a nap.
Right. Yeah, there is a way.
Yeah.
If you're poor, to eat well and kill time and sit in air conditioning and all that, and buy a $2 spatula if need be.
And
that was three years of my life where I figured out in Los Angeles how to be indoors in the summer in air conditioning, entertaining my kids, feeding them without spending a lot of money.
That's the Jew side.
Dude, you know what we used to do? We used to go to the toy store in the Beverly Center, and these places knew me. There was a woman at Ralph's when we'd walk up to the hot counter, hot food. She would just give us food, and we would eat it before we left. And there was this one toy store where they knew we're going to come. My kids are going to unwrap the toys, play with them in the aisle, and then we're going to leave. And they were just the kids. My kids for a long time thought toy stores were just a place where you go played with toys, but you didn't leave with them.
Right.
Because I didn't have. We had so little money. This is true. My son Jacob, who opens for me now, tells a joke about this on stage. But we had so little money. I had told him that when the ice cream truck plays its music, it means it's out of ice cream.
That's funny.
So he was like, when he'd hear the music, he'd be like, "Damn it!" And I was like, "Nah, sorry, dude."
Oh my God. You're a master troll. Yeah, you and Mike Miller should get together. He does the same kind of moves.
But that's how we did it. So IKEA, the mall, Ralph's were 3 great places. 0 money, air conditioning, where I could get. At the mall, I could just be like, "Let's sprint," and they would fucking zing, 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 tire them out. Get back to the house. Like there's so
Good
many
strategy.
Yeah, I mean, there's other strategy where you could get a fucking job and not have to go through this charade.
I was a comic, 0 skills, and I couldn't get a job like that would pay enough money where I could pay for daycare and pay for rent and all that.
Yeah,
shit.
the comic skill thing is weird. There's
not a lot of skill sets for most of us. You have an actual skill set.
I possess a skill set.
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
How many of us do you know besides you have a skill set?
Well, Jeff Ross can, rebuild a. No.
I was waiting for that.
I was like, what?
Patton Oswalt can tear down a transmission, redo all the synchronizers, and have that thing back in your truck in 20 minutes. I am telling you, he did the camshaft on my 350 Chevy.
Now, I do believe Patton could make that Batman suit for your friend.
He could probably sew that back. But no, they're skillless people.
Yeah, we are.
That's the thing. Which also is a Jewish thing too, because it's not a lot of blue or Jew collar out there. It is, and smart, by the way. Pay someone to do that. You make more money running show business or being a lawyer, or doing whatever it is you got to do. But there is something about comics and that lack a sort of blue collary kind of mechanical kind of whatever.
Very few of us.
Very, very few. As a matter of fact, Leno.
Yeah.
Leno is that guy.
I imagine Rogan can fix things, but maybe not.
I don't think so, but he has maybe. He has a keen interest in it. And then there's like your Tim Allens who love cars and like collect stuff and stuff like that. And then there is, you do one more story if you got it. I'll come up with the
all comic list. We're going to first team all comic.
Well, getting back to that, it is sort of like that airplane joke where the guy's like, just some light reading, and she hands him a pamphlet, and it's greatest Jewish sports legends.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Right,
there's just not enough.
Sean Green, Sandy Koufax, Kevin
to fill a whole
Simmons?
Jeff Dunham makes his puppets.
No,
and
he
makes
doesn't.
He makes all that stuff and puts actuators and stuff in it so the eyeballs pop out
awesome.
and stuff
Like
like
an
that.
engineer.
Jeff's got his shop and makes his
And then
stuff.
Carrot Top, don't forget about
Carrot
him.
Top makes stuff, but that's not an HVAC guy or a plumber or electrician. But it's handy. It's hands on.
Yeah, but I would think there's a little difference between attaching a foot to a surfboard than fixing.
It's a baby.
Yeah.
Don't insult him. It's baby,
Baby, sorry, yeah,
board,
my bad.
on a board. It's a baby on a board. It's baby on board. That's the genius of it.
By the way, I did go see his show. It's a great show.
Yeah, come on. He's a legend,
fucking great show. And he doesn't do as much props as he used to.
No, I brought up Gallagher to him, and Gallagher, sledge-o-matic, but it's really a lot of political humor and a lot of insightful social commentary and stuff. That's the way the world works. You remember him for the sledge-o-matic. The other 50 minutes of the act is like kind of George Carlin-esque political insights.
But his brother who went out as Gallagher?
Oh, yeah.
That was less than the original Gallagher as far as the stuff you're talking about.
I can't say because I never actually saw Gallagher 2.
Yeah.
But it is,
Gallagher 2. It's so crazy that that's a thing.
Yeah. Well, I looked into it a bit. It's a way. If you're going to do a deep dive on something, that is super interesting.
I wonder if they'll do a documentary on that.
I'm sure because, man, the incidents that I heard about Gallagher yelling at Carrot Top, man, Coach.
Gallagher really kind of, when you step back and you look at it, will be remembered. His history will have the same arc as Roseanne. Will go highest grossing, highest paid sitcom star of the 90s, 10 HBO specials, the most, of the 80s, the highest grossing, whatever. And then at the end, they'll go kind of angry nut, sort of paranoid, like angry person, I like Roseanne and I like her. But I'm saying the way history works, that's the way.
That's funny you mentioned that.
It ends up working for them. You hang around long enough, and they get the, when Gallagher dies, like, wasn't he kind of a racist?
That's all I heard about how angry he was.
Hear any highest grossing comedian of the 80s or any of that stuff.
Was he?
I think if you look up highest grossing comedians of the 80s, I think you're going to have Gallagher on that.
Who else was touring? Carlin?
Yeah.
Yeah. Seinfeld's always been working, but maybe wasn't as big.
Steve Martin, late 70s?
Steve Martin would have sort of crapped out by the early 80s or something like that. He would have been late 70s.
Had a stretch. Yeah.
Was he the first guy who was doing those massive places, though?
Yeah.
Because I think Carrot Top used to do massive places, too. Didn't he do?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure of it.
Yeah. I can't think about in the 80s who, as a comic, because comics now sell ridiculous amounts of tickets. But to be somebody back then in that era as a comic, to be selling that amount of tickets was a bit of a unicorn. Because comedy was kind of new. Stand-up?
Comedy was like jazz, You played in clubs, you know. You don't play jazz at the ballpark.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's for the hair band or the big band, or that's for Led Zeppelin. But it's not for the jazz quartet, So comedy was like jazz.
What is it you think about that it was about Steve Martin? Because that wasn't even straight comedy. So what was it about him, do you think, that was selling that many tickets? Was it that it wasn't straight comedy, that it was a little offbeat?
Well, I mean, the albums went, double platinum,
Right.
and I think that's what got people to come to the arena. But I don't know, somebody's got to be popular all the time.
Yeah.
And we always go, but what? I don't get it. Why so popular? And it's like, you're looking for a chasm or a difference. Like, you're looking for why, like, Nate Bargatze's funny, but Josh Wolf is funny. There's not that big a chasm between those two. They're both funny dudes. I've interviewed them. I've hung out with them. I've been on stage with both of them. They're both good. It's not, Josh plays 300-seaters and Nate plays 30,000 seaters.
Yeah.
So he's 10,000 times funnier than Josh Wolf. When Rowley's like 7,000 times funnier.
I was going to say somewhere between 7 and 10 for sure.
So he's not, but somebody's got to sell that arena at this time.
You're striking the accord at that particular time when we are that is what people are latching onto.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to take it away or even say it's luck.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you 100%.
Somebody's got to be the Steve Martin of our day, and somebody's got to be the Britney Spears, and somebody's got to be you fill in the blank.
Yeah.
All right, Gallagher. Was he the highest grossing? I feel like, I know you're still looking, Andrew, but this is what the internet is made for, right?
And are you judging it by, I wonder, highest grossing, just by
I don't know. Why?
By ticket sales or by album sales?
I don't even know. Look, however they judge highest grossing, probably
right.
touring or whatever.
Eddie Murphy.
Top comedians of the 80s, Eddie Murphy, Raw, but
Pryor, of course.
Richard Pryor, already highly
Dice
influential.
was the 80s?
I guess Dice is the 80s.
I remember.
Popularity.
Then, right?
I remember.
Soared. Steve Martin still around. But I don't think this is still... This isn't highest grossing like in order of highest grossing. This is just like popular.
Yeah.
Right? Like Sam Kinison and George Carlin. But I mean...
Do you know did I ever tell you I opened up for Kinison?
Yeah, a lot.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, back to the news.
Koalas have chlamydia, and a vaccine used to treat chlamydia. Yeah.
Wow, now that's
in Australia's koala population.
No, hold on. I want to hear the story. Sorry.
Oh, I don't know if I had told it before.
I'm just fucking around.
The fourth or fifth time I was ever on stage, Carl LeBeau used to open for Sam.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, Carl LeBeau to me, one of the most underrated, such a brilliant joke writer. But his dad, on the way to San Antonio, which is where I was going to school, passed away. And I don't remember why, but I had won a comedy competition the night before or 2 nights before. And his manager, Bill, called and was like, hey, to the promoter, we need an opener. Find somebody in San Antonio. And they had heard I had won a comedy competition. So they called me in my dorm room. I was in college. And they're like, do you want to open it for Sam Kinison? And I was like, this comedy shit is easy.
yeah. It's always that.
Won a competition because my friends were there and they clapped. So I didn't. Kinison was playing a rock club at the time. I didn't know. And it was a place called Sneakers in San Antonio. And those are Kinison's crowd were. Those were hardcore rockers. Yeah. He had a band with him. He had just done Wild Thing. And I was when I was 20, I looked 12. I was poor. I didn't have a lot of clothing options. So when I walked on stage, I was wearing the only clothes I basically had that I would wear out, which was like acid wash jeans and basically a Blockbuster button-down shirt tucked into my jeans. And I had a ponytail at the time. And when I was walking to the stage, I only had 3 minutes of material. And Bill was like, just open with a quick 20. And I was like,
whoa.
I thought they were hiring me just to do what I
did at the competition.
So on the way to the microphone, I take 2 steps on stage and somebody just screams, you better be funny, Bobby Brady. And then by the time I got to the mic, they were, and for your 5th time on stage, you're not ready for that type of.
No.
And they ate me up. And within the first 4 minutes, they had stopped heckling me and they were just talking to each other.
It's even worse.
And people were still walking in. So do you know what I did? I did my set 6 times.
Oh, wow.
I just repeated it, dude.
Good for you.
I didn't know what else to do. People would walk in. I'd be like, oh, you missed my jokes. Let me do these for you. It was the fucking worst 20 minutes of my life. And the only thing that made it worse was after the show. I thought we only had one show.
Oh.
Bill was like, listen, second show, Sam's a little fucked up. I might need you to stretch. I'm like, stretch? What do you mean stretch? But it was so crazy to watch him on stage because he was the first guy I remember watching going, are we allowed to talk like this?
Really? Yeah.
He was the first guy. Carlin was a little before me and different than Kinison. Kinison got into religion in a way that I had never heard anyone jump on.
So it was a real experience, man.
Oh, dude. But it was fucking, after that night, I remember thinking to myself, well, I'll never bomb like this. Like, I got it out of the way. From here on out, it's easy.
Like a wisdom tooth.
Exactly. Just fucking rip that thing out. But yeah, that was
That's beautiful, man.
It was
that's beautiful. Part of Sam's story.
Yeah.
Well, Josh, I think you've earned yourself a plug with that humbling story. Tour dates coming up. Going to be in Santa Ana. Santa Ana, Pueblo, New Mexico. That's at Quezada's. Comedy Club at Jimmy Kimmel's Club. I'll be there too later on, September 22nd.
I'm there every Monday night. I have a residency.
Every Monday night.
Yep.
Right. I'll be in Albuquerque at the Chemo Theater. That'll be September 26th, 27th, Orpheum, and then Orpheum and Flagstaff, and then October 2nd through the 4th over at Kimmel's Club.
Can I plug? I have a new special on YouTube called the Campfire Special.
Yeah.
I want you to know if you're looking to watch some comedy where you're going to learn something, this is the wrong special. This is a turn your brain off, laugh at ridiculous dumb shit for an hour.
I get the same thing on the Mayhem show on YouTube.
That's it. This is not a place where you're going to be figuring things out.
Nah, not a lot of radial arm.
No.
Saw talk.
Cross-cut that mother.
Yeah.
Now you want to score it before you cross-cut it, or it will change.
My bad.
Yeah.
All right. So until next time, I'm with Josh Wolf and Mayhem Miller saying, mahalo.